Yeah, that's great. Due to the technical difficulties of the previous effort, starting over in the hopes that I can stay able after being at work all night. And I got to, yeah, there it is. Jeez, EV Mux. Just, the thing is, why me? What do you mean you hear mute? You can't see anything? The stream's not running? I'm seeing it run. I mean, I'm seeing it on Rumble. I don't really have time for all this. Yeah, I'm not a robot. Let me see YouTube. Okay, it's there on YouTube. All right. I'd have to split this up as a two-parter or something now. I don't know. God. Ugh. Well, here we are, Captain Adam. You know, Doctor, I forgot all. Yeah, I went into all this stuff about the history and everything. Well, not doing that now. EV Mux. It's the only way I can get the super tips to work, though. I just can't get it to work in OBS. Captain Adam witnessed the birth of the incomparable Dr. Spectro, master of moods. Different, dangerous, diabolical. Yeah, that's great. Captain Adam faces, guess who? Dr. Spectro, master of moods. See how they turn against Captain Adam. Note their expressions of hate. Feel their wrath, their violent mood. All are spellbound by the master of moods, the incomparable Dr. Spectro. So, I don't know. He blasts him with blue light, and then it reflects on them, makes them mad. Something. I don't know. In the Southwest, an Air Force truck loaded with highly classified and expensive equipment with apparently no security escort came to a barrier in the road. They stopped for a phony barrier. Give them the nerve gas. Hurry. Rodent. Yes. Their leader's name is Rodent. We'll pay plenty for this shipment. At that moment, many miles away, a door burst inward, and the mighty figure of Captain Adam enters. Rodent, Captain Adam's found us. He hasn't got me yet. Massive barriers leaped out from the walls, but they won't stop me, Rodent. I'm going to smash you and your racket, Rodent. But then, another door. But a diabolically clever fiend had other tricks. A wall of armored steel, more than a foot thick. Surely no man could penetrate that. In an instant, Captain Adam changed his molecular body structure. Oh, well, if you can do that. And the impregnable steel wall ceased to be a barrier, for it excluded material objects. Sparkle, 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 sparkle. And Captain Adam had dematerialized. Get him! I must have time to destroy the records. Rodent's gang had failed to hold him off. Well, I guess so. He just went right through a steel door. You know, what are they going to do? By the way, he dematerialized to get through the door, but he clearly rematerialized on the other side, see? Anyway, and Captain Adam reached the paper the master criminal had been desperately trying to destroy before it went up in flames. He could restore the molecules, couldn't he? Anyway, it's a list of the gangs Rodent works with. Only one name on the list was burned away. I'll use my belt radio to pass this information along to Washington so they can round them up fast. So he pulls his... Oh, are we supposed to be seeing that? Pretty sad, really, but Anywho, in Washington, a special operator manned that frequency night and day. Roger, Captain Adam. Now, while you were capturing that bunch, one of our Air Force trucks was hijacked in your area. The men on the list you recovered are in that region too. And we believe the man whose name was burned away can be found nearby. Resume undercover identity and track down that last man, and the entire ring will be destroyed. Roger, I'll proceed immediately. Well, not immediately. A few days later, in a city near the place where the Air Force truck was hijacked, never mind which one, Captain Adam was operating in civilian attire, seeking that last nameless man on Rodent's master list. I told Gunner to meet me at the circus. I hope he had better luck picking up leads at the base than I did. Oh, look who's on the poster. The Rendezvous, a sideshow featuring a weirdly dressed performer called Dr. Spectro, master of moods. Show's just beginning. I'll have to wait until it's over to see Gunner. Ladies and gentlemen, few of you realize the importance of color in your lives. Used properly, it can cure incurable diseases. Light and color can save life, or it can destroy life. By using color and light, I can make you laugh or cry, love or hate, calm as a sunset or as violent as a tornado. Watch closely, ladies and gentlemen. Concentrate. Watch the changing lights. But first, a look at our sponsor. More comic books from Carlton Publishing. The Fightin' Five. Death Rode the Red Wind. It looks like a horse to me. Maybe it's just, that was the name of the horse, you know. Kill the foreigners. He's got a 5 on his jacket. I guess he's part of the Fightin' Five, and they're not wanted. Meanwhile, what's going on with Son of Vulcan? Sorry, my son. I am not able to. To what, though? He can't wire him the money because, you know, his idiot son is backpacking across Europe and he ran out of dough. So now you're going to jail, stupid. Something like that. I don't know. Sarge Steele, special agent. Run! Get the king into the car. Hurry! So she's, wow. Did her pants come off? Is that, ooh. Anyway, that's what he does. See, he's called Sarge Steele because he lost his hand and got it replaced with a robot steel hand, you know. You'd like to think it was in some, you know, super duper pooper scooper top secret adventure, but it was probably just, you know, he dropped something down the drain and he, you know, the garbage disposal screwed up his hand and all that. Anyway, look who else is here. The Blue Beetle. Yeah, he exists in the same world as Captain Adam. And it's still Dan Garrett at this point. Ted Kord hadn't showed up yet. Magno Man pits his power against Blue Beetle. Out of the quaking earth, the Mole Men strike as Magno Man leads them forward. Okay. Does he is he magnetic or does he, you know, spray him with lava or something? I don't know. But also Captain Adam's there for some reason. So there you go. The greatest action heroes of all time. On sale now. And now back to our story. As Dr. Spectro spoke, the brilliant prisms on his wrist caught light, refracted it in a brilliant fantasy of color, and his audience smiled, delight upon their happy faces. Now the light changes, and with it the mood, and you see somber hues. You are no longer happy. I'm beginning to feel depressed. He's amazing. It's funny he gets excited about something while depressed, you know. He's got tremendous potential. He's a genius. I must talk to him after the show. You're a fake, phony. I want my money back. Devo. There's one in every crowd. That stupid idiot. How much longer must I take abuse from unbelievers? So he looks back to his past, you know. He claims he can heal patients with Cutter. The authorities did more than scoff. You must leave since you refuse to give up your ridiculous theories. Never. I will perfect it yet. You mean you're leaving or you're not leaving? We're saying you should leave. Whether you give up your ridiculous theories, I really don't care. But no, I mean, I'm not going to give them up. But yeah, I'm leaving. All right. We're good then. What an idiot. Dr. Spectro went on with his work. He presented his ideas to others, but it was always the same. Rubbish. We don't want to hear any more. Impractical. Get out of my office, Dr. Spectro. So I became a circus performer. It gave me a chance to continue my experiments and test my theories on people. This heckler is an excellent subject. Am I supposed to be scared? Hey, the light's different. Cut it out. I'm getting scared. No. Oh, no. Stop it. That was no act. He was really scared. I mean, you can smell the stench from here. In that audience, the gang leader, whose name had been burned off the list, was sitting. We're hot, Chief. We got a lamb head of you. We ain't need dough for that. I got an idea. We'll knock off the bank here. Use this guy and his lights to draw people away from the bank area. He won't know the score. I'll leave now and have a word with Gunner. I'll talk to Dr. Spectro after the show. So, after the show, learn anything, Gunner? I drew a blank. The people at the base are clean, Captain Adam. They're going to be hard to nab. They'll lay low with Rodent gone. What do we do next? I want a word with Dr. Spectro. Then we'll plan our next move. Huh? I don't get it. Well, whatever. Meanwhile, inside Dr. Spectro's tent. It's just a joke on someone, Dr. Spectro. You'll be paid well. I'm fed up with jokes. Get out. You'll do it the hard way then. The blow hurled Dr. Spectro backward into his experimental apparatus, and it went up his, well, then a weird thing occurred. Yeah, that. The prisms on Dr. Spectro's wrist captured the light from the wrecked experiment, and Dr. Spectro was caught directly in the rays of the refracted energy. I'm absorbing the power of light and color. Dr. Spectro was caught in a trap of his own making. Yeah, kind of. I mean, the accident wasn't his fault. But anyway, as the brilliant, flaming red rays bathed his brain, hate began to dominate his thoughts, to change his entire mind. I have power. I can destroy them all. No one will ever laugh at me again. I'll show everyone. They'll be taught a lesson. Dr. Spectro whirled on the criminals, his first victims. As for you, that light, it makes me feel sick. What's he doing to us? Let's slam out of here. I can't take it. I gotta take a dump fast. And Captain Adam, wait for me here, Gunner. I'm going to go see Dr. Spectro. Yeah, you've been saying that for an hour now. Yeah, I know. I'm getting to it. The frightened criminals passed near Gunner. Now what, boss? We still need dough. We're going through with the bank job. Hey, they're criminals. Hold it, boss. Someone hide us. Oops. The boss. And that's all we know. We're never going to get his name. It was burned off the paper, you know. Even the writer doesn't know it now. So anyway, gun-covered Gunner in a split second. Act natural and walk ahead of us, Mac. I can't even tip off Captain Adam. And Captain Adam, in his undercover role, talked with Dr. Spectro. You could benefit all mankind with your discoveries, Dr. Spectro. I tried, but they laughed at me. I'm going to make everyone pay for the way I was treated. It's your turn now. I'm getting sick. Got to get out. Can't take any more. Almost passed out. Dr. Spectro is a dangerous man. Well, I'll worry about that later. Where's Gunner? I'd better contact him. Using the bell radio, Captain Adam called Gunner repeatedly. Straight to voicemail. Am I being ghosted? His radio is built into his dog tags, but he doesn't acknowledge my calls. Something is wrong. Not far away in a warehouse where the stolen Air Force equipment had been stored. Yeah, the sergeant's out cold and he'll never get out through the iron door. Now what? We hit the bank, stupid. We got to lamb. Everything is lamb out of here. All right, do it already. Anyway, inside behind the iron door, Gunner came awake. Oh, look, they really do have rodents living there. Yeah. Got to get in touch with Captain Adam. The miniature transistor radio was cunningly concealed inside the dog tags. Man, those things are really thin. Captain Adam from Gunner. Captain Adam from Gunner. Come in, please. And, that chili dog went straight to my... Wait, no. Radio signal from Washington? No, that's Gunner's signal. I'm locked in, Captain. I don't know where I am. Calm down, you sissy. Keep sending your signal, Gunner. I'll home in on your radio wave. And Captain Adams, super hearings, picks up Gunner's radio wave. He zoomed closer as it got stronger and stronger. Sparkle, 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 sparkle. Whee! Walls and doors meant nothing to Captain Adam. This is where they took the hijacked Air Force equipment. This is the bunch we're after. Yeah, no shit. They just left, Captain Adam. They're going to rob the bank. You get the local police. I'll go to the bank. So anyway, at the bank, the criminals were busily working on the massive vault when Captain Adam arrived. Look out, get that guy. What? Oh, one hood had a .45 automatic, and Captain Adam pointed at this weapon. Pure heat was beamed from his atomic fist. The gun was instantly sizzling hot and can't hold the git. But the boss criminal, yes, that's his name, hadn't given up. As Captain Adam turned toward him, the chief scooped sand out of a sand-filled ashtray and... it worked. I mean, come on, he's gone through doors and stuff. He's, he can change atoms at will, but okay. He can't see, get him! But blinded by the sand, Captain Adam has other ways to find his enemies and... I should give you an atomic punch, traitor. Police and bank guards arrived at that moment. Hey, what's going on here? He knocked out the whole gang. Take them into custody. I'll explain later. But first, I'll pose. Anybody want selfies? No? At that moment, from outside the bank, terrified screams were heard. Yee! What's going on? They're terribly frightened of something. Oh, yeah, we forgot about this guy. Captain Adam hurtled outside to see Dr. Spectro, the Mood Master. And mood spelled backwards, says doom. Beaming a vari-colored light ray, creating eerie hues never before seen by man. And they ran, terrified by this evil power, which they could not understand. I've got to stop him. Run, fools. You fear me now. You can't escape. I can paralyze you with a different beam. I can shine with a hotter brilliance than the sun. It's even beginning to affect me. Make him turn it off. I've got to break his hold on my mind before I become too frightened to resist. I have it. I'll generate tremendous body heat, create a heat shield which will repel his color ray. Armored by a shimmering shield of pure heat energy, Captain Atom no longer feared his weird adversary. I've got to stop him right now. You fool, you don't realize the extent of my power. Raising his fist, Dr. Spectro converted all light and color into pure power rays. These smashed into Captain Atom. Now, to create a hate color to arouse the people. Now, earlier when Dr. Spectro was filled with hate, it was red. But on other people, it's blue. Huh. As Dr. Spectro focused a color beam on Captain Atom, which aroused the onlookers to pure fury, hatred was a scalding tide in their hearts. I hate him. Let's destroy him. He's inciting them to violence with his color-created moods. Well, yeah, he's the mood master. That's what he does. Summoning all his strength, can't fight them. They're helpless to resist. To overcome the weakness created by the mood master's strange colors, Captain Atom leaped beyond the reach of the hate-filled mob. Got to stop him. He's a menace to the world. Well, at the moment, just to this block of street. But anyway, I know. I'll generate heat. Yeah, heat again. In my hand. I'll let the heat build into an atomic fireball of flame. This will stop him. The fool plays into my hand. The electromagnetic refractor on my chest is used to project light rays. And I got no problem with anything flaming. But now I will use it to absorb the tremendous heat in the atomic fireball. I will store this great power, and the power will be mine to use as I see fit. It is done. Captain Atom's power now belongs to me. Now I will turn the tremendous energy back on its source. I will destroy Captain Atom. Oof, he's too much. I stunned him. Got to recover before he hits me again. He missed. I won't miss. This will stop him. He's got a wallop too. Okay, then Dr. Spectro, the mood master, played his ace. As he slugged Captain Atom, he projected a color ray that blasted the molecular man off his feet. Surviving so it didn't amount to anything. This terrific punishment, Captain Atom fought the mood master toe-to-toe. They towed each other. Anyway, the epic battle was weakening the powerful warriors. Captain Atom's mighty muscles pitted against the light and color of the universe. The universe? It's just one guy. I'm weakening. I must renew the power I've used on Captain Atom. I have it. That car. I'll beam a heat ray at the gasoline tank and cause the car to explode. Boom. Then I absorb the power of the explosion. Good Lord, I just sat here and watched it happen. I'm an idiot. Oh no, the more power he absorbs, the greater his ability to become. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. Yes, that's the deal. You didn't pay attention. Now you'll see that I'm more than a match for you. More brilliant than the sun, with more power than an atomic blast, Dr. Spectro used his vast powers on Captain Atom. Ooh, ooh. Captain Atom, with a last desperate lunge, smashed his enemy backward into a power line where high-tension power lines threw great arcs of pure power into Dr. Spectro. Yeah, you haven't learned anything. He's just not paying attention. And Dr. Spectro made no attempt to remove himself. He stayed there with 50,000 volts pouring into his body. Oh my God, the vibrations. Oh, it's really something. The fool, he'll never be able to control all the power he's absorbing. I've got to cut off the power before he takes in too much power. Just let him explode. Supercharged with more energy than any man had ever had before, Dr. Spectro hurtled after Captain Atom. I'll finish Captain Atom for good. At supersonic speed, Captain Atom zoomed toward his enemy. Dr. Spectro came on to attack, pulsating with power, aglow with color and light. The thought came to Captain Atom. Dr. Spectro had so much energy, he almost had to burn out like a light bulb that has received too much voltage. Even as the thought came, Captain Adam saw Dr. Spectro changing, aglow with flickering color, destroyed by a hate that was too great for any man's body. And he vanished. With a last blinding burst of color, the Moonmaster was no more. He, I don't know, went right into Captain Adam's belt, in his pocket. Anyway, with his arch enemy, that's how quick he becomes. Captain Adam reported to the city police, who had to round up the criminals involved in the case. Where did Dr. Spectro go? We were watching, and he vanished. Is he gone for good? No, I don't think so. Somehow I feel he's still up there, somewhere, waiting. And it's a good thing because, I need supervillains for this series, so. You're right, Captain Adam. I will return. And when I do, I shall prove that I am supreme after all. Next time, I shall not fail. The end. Good Lord, the trouble I went through to get through this. There's another one. Oh, boy. How long does this one last? Okay, we can do that. But first, I better check the chat. And they'll tell me, well, the audio went out again. Oh, geez, nobody came over. Oh, that's just great. Thanks, EV Mux. Thanks. I hear music. Stream stopped. Okay, he's back. It's working fine now. The chat in your window is very delayed. Well, I don't know what to do about that. Hey, Thompson, it's okay, Doug. Shit happens. Yeah, I know, but this is what, I don't know, the 10th time. Hey, Thompson, when are you getting monetized on YouTube? I don't know. Swift -1, the turquoise poison. Ravenscroft 82. Morning, Douglas. Really enjoy your contributions to PCP. Thank you, Ravenscroft. Ravenscroft 82. This is from the Charlton era, correct? Yes, it is. The early days of Captain Adam. Still in his golden suit that was inspired by Adaman, who inspired my Sun King character. Oh, yeah. Can't say I like the golden version of Captain Adam's suit. I mean, the shirt doesn't fit. I mean, the sleeves don't reach his wrist, Hey, Tom, so wait a minute. I told you immediately the audio was out. Yeah, I can't see the chat when I'm in the viewer here. You understand? So I didn't see that until after I was finished reading the story. So there was nothing I could do. It looks like a cool comic book. Well, it's Steve Ditko art, one of the great legends. Created Spider-Man, All right, let's finish off with Moon Run. He rode up the ramp tall and handsome in his pilot's uniform. He turned to have his last look at Earth, his last look at Iris, the girl he loved. He waved goodbye, and to himself he said, "Goodbye, my love, forever." The passengers were businessmen making the run to the moon robot factories, so they don't intend to come back. Anyway. Here comes the pilot now. Jenkins, what's a government man doing on the moon run? I'm going to investigate the new robot 88. My political group feels this. Oh, wait, is it him talking? Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm going to investigate the new robot over 88. My political group feels this one could be dangerous to man. Supposed to be perfect. Really an android, a synthetic human instead of a robot. What's the difference? Robot, android, there's no human in either one. Just machines. Maybe the pilot can tell us about this 88 model. Have you seen them? How good are the 88s? I've heard they can really think. I'm sorry, gentlemen. I'm not at liberty to answer such questions. We aren't ready to blast off. Hope the robot isn't at the controls if there's an emergency. They're never perfect. He listened to their talk as he went into the control cabin. What do you expect? They're not human, no emotions, no feeling. Passengers will adjust their blast-off belts and relax. Yes, a man has courage. How can a machine that knows nothing of life and love have courage? And in the controls cabin, the pilot thought of the girl he'd left behind. The stabilizers have meshed. I will go out and try to release them. I guess he scared him when he walked in. Oh, sir. If he doesn't get those stabilizers released soon, we'll burn the ship and all of us. We're heading right into the path of meteor swarms from the sun. Fighting the terrible pull of the sun, the pilot struggled with the controls. His clothing was smoking and charring. With his last remaining strength, the pilot threw the ship into automatic control. The moon lay straight ahead. Greatest feat of bravery I've ever heard of. That control cabin without conductor walls like the passenger cabins must have been terrible. Only a human could have done it. You can have your robots. Take it easy. He's in bad shape. Iris, felt the same as the others. Fear, disgust for robots. Well, I'll be. It's one of those new jobs. Had me fooled. It looks human. She never knew, and it's best she never will. You know, you really can't tell the difference between one of these things and a real human. Boy, they've really made them perfect now. Take it easy. He'll hear you. So what? This thing ain't got no feelings or emotions. It's only a robot. Why are they putting bandages over him? Well, whatever. There you go. Oh, boy. Wasn't that exciting? Yep. Yeah, that was something. Jeez. I could have had an hour. Now I won't. Thanks, Evie Mux. Thanks. Hey, Thompson. Doug, what was the first comic book you bought, and do you still have it? Yes, it was... Oh, wait. Was it the Spider-Man one, or was it the one with Superman and Captain Marvel? Damn it. Well, it was one of those, but I have both. Hey, Thompson, I picture your house being nothing but bookshelves filled with comics. Nothing wrong with that. They're in boxes. Hey, Thompson, I think I owned one comic book in my life. It was Shadowhawk #1. Oh, yeah, I remember that, the Image Comics character. Hey, Thompson, I thought it was good. Yeah, he was kind of like a Batman character, you know, but more violent because he was like breaking the spines of criminals. So that, you know, hey, at least this way, they can't commit crimes anymore, even if some weak judge lets them out, you know. Oh, well. I think the character died of AIDS, and then someone else had to take over the role. Something like that. It's a long time ago. I don't remember. All right. Well, there we go. I was supposed to spend more time on this, but I can't. Damn, I just got to remember, no matter what I do, especially with EV Mux, I'm just going to have to test it and go either look at Rumble or YouTube and see if it can be heard through it. It's the only way I can do it. I just don't understand that. Because, you know, you go in there and it'll indicate everything that's working. So you got the little mic icon and it's showing it's working. Then to make damn sure, I'll go in and check all the connections within the studio and the browser. All there, all turned on. And it didn't work. If I went back into it now for a new stream, it'll probably work. I can't figure this out. I don't understand why it doesn't. But The only way to deal with it is to test it at the get-go. Then I have to stop, start over, and hope it works the next time around. But, geez. I mean, it's a cool stream. It's got all these bells and whistles in it and everything. Plus, I can make super tips work on it. I mean, I can make it work here too, I think. Oh, wait, no, I'd have to, I'd have to go through OBS to make that one work. But still, you could do it. You just can't hear it. A. Thompson. Oh, I had another comic book, Death of Superman. Yeah, I had that one. I still have it. Ravenscroft. I think my first comic was Spider-Man 98 from 1971. Yep, I'm old. Mumble Slam. Have you read any of Karmic's comics? Nope, don't intend to. Mumble Slam Jug World. Yeah, it's giant titties. You know. Hey, Thompson, I was in a baseball card store and thought that Shadowhawk was a good investment. I think it's worth $10 now. It could be, yeah. Hey, Thompson, LOL, Mumbles shows up at the end for the win. Hey, Thompson, Mumbles, that new music video from Clowntown had me laughing. Karmic will not be happy. Oh, that's too bad. Ravenscroft 82. Nobody understand the internet, really. It's some kind of black magic. Yeah, probably. I mean, it's really starting to look that way. Black magic internet. Do, 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 do. I wonder if it would. If it did. Oh, that's what it's doing. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was testing out the super tip thing. And oh no, I'm not going in there. It's a dump. Let me see if I can make this work. Yeah, just fall all over the place. Jeez. Zippity doo dah, zippity day. Oh, jeez. Maybe that'll work. Let me put that there. So it'll go rolling off. And I'll have to move closer. But the mic will be a little further away. But it's probably the only way for this to work. Blah, blah, blah. OVS. Oh, you got to turn it on. It's stupid. Okay. Turn that off. There we are. So now, oh crap! Now I got to look at it again. Well, that's his old suit, Captain Atom of the Carlton comics. There, I'm getting it in a position where I can make sure I get pretty much all of it right. And I'll just do some basic superhero pose, I guess. Captain Atom, up and Atom. Captain Atom, up and Atom. So, yeah, Captain Atom was primarily the main superpowered superhero of the Carlton comics once the original Blue Beetle died. And then Ted Kord took over Blue Beetle, but he didn't have any powers. He had all these gadgets and stuff and his flying bugmobile and all that stuff. The Question, of course, didn't have any powers. Thunderbolt, he was like in peak condition, superhuman in that aspect, but he really didn't have any superpowers. The Nightshade girl, she had superpowers. She, what all could she do? I can't remember. She could go to this other dimension and stuff. Anyway, Then there was Son of Vulcan, but I don't think that character ever crossed over with them. I could be wrong, but I don't think he did. And this idea, I think, ultimately, when they did Watchmen, the template was the Carlton characters. So Captain Atom became Dr. Manhattan, and so on and so forth. And but the idea seemed rather appealing to it in that if you wanted to keep it as realistic as possible, the idea that people would be just getting superpowers all the time seemed a bit absurd. So the idea is that if a freak nuclear accident would only happen once and you couldn't repeat it or whatever. And that's kind of what they went with. Uh, and they just sort of, I don't know if it was all that well planned out for Carlton that they would only have one superpowered character. And like I said, what's her face was superpowered, not to the extent of Captain Atom, but still, and she had powers. So I don't know, but they had a good run for a while, I guess, and had something of a following, but they really couldn't compete with DC and Marvel. Steve Ditko got pissed at Marvel and left, ended up over there and developed Captain Atom for them, and then of course took over Blue Beetle. Uh, Went ahead and did the redesign with the Ted Kord character, who's basically, when you think about it, is a combination of Spider-Man and Batman. So you basically have Peter Parker as what Ted Kord looked like, and he's this bug character. Oh, gee, what are the odds? And but he doesn't have the powers, so he has gadgets and stuff because of his engineering skills and all that sort of thing. But he also was pretty wealthy. He had a technology company, and so he's rich like Bruce Wayne and all that. He's got this miraculous bug mobile or beetle, he called it, and that's what he did. I don't know. I think he took like karate lessons or something so that he could fight. Jeez, I don't know. I need another image here. I just don't think this is going to cut it. Damn it. Why can't I grab it? Oh, come on. Oh, I'm grabbing the wrong thing. There we go. Oh, yeah, I thought so. Okay. Go back. Oh, wrong one again. There we go. Okay. Did it do like that? I still gotta look at the. Oh, it is a mask. Jeez. All right. That's funny because the later costume, he doesn't bother with the mask anymore. There we go. And I don't know. I guess the weird freak nuclear accident that gave him his powers turned his hair white or something. Who the hell knows? It's, comic book science. There we go. Some kind of detail here. There. Stuff like that there. Oh, wait. He has not a very original thing here. But I don't know. That's what they came up with at the time. Again, they quickly dropped this design and give him a different suit later on. And that pretty much became this red, white, and blue costume that he had for a good while. And now that he's a DC property, he's just all silver with a red, atomic symbol on him. And that's it. All right. Yeah. Okay. It's Captain Atom. His sparkles. I sparkle. Something like that. Oh, okay. Do 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 do. New music video. Nobody understands the internet. Hey Thompson, can we get a tour of your comic vault? No. Were you into baseball cards also, or only comic books? Really, only comics. I mean, I played baseball, but didn't really get into the cards. Hey Thompson, I can't send super tips. They don't take my payment. I'll send super chats. Well, not anytime soon. Mumble Slam, Bill Watterson, the GOAT. Hey, Thompson, I'm trying to get my son into collecting stuff. We started with Matchbox cars. All right. Mumble Slam Watterson. Yeah. I hey, Thompson, there was a comic book store in Dubai. Evidently, they had $20 million worth of rare comics. I didn't know what I was looking at. Wow. I don't know. Was there like Action Comics 1 there and stuff like that? Ravenscroft 82. Doug, what's your feeling about the post Watchmen sequels and adaptations? Personally, think the work should have stayed as it was. To continue it diminishes the impact of the story. Well, some of the prequel ones they did, like what was it, the Beyond Watchmen? I didn't mind them that much for what they were. Uh, Primarily the one Jay Lee did. The story wasn't all that great, but the art was just magnificent. Probably the best one out of the batch was the Minutemen that Darwin Cook did. That one was pretty good. Um, the others, it was pretty. It was just kind of rehashing the same stuff you already get from the original work. And of course, Alan Moore was all against it and everything. He was before the big breakup with DC happened. There was serious talk about he was going to do a prequel called The Minutemen. They were going to do it because there's a setup there where you hear about them in the flashbacks in the original story and all that. So but it is pretty much it's a one and done thing. I mean, certainly you can. It tells you they had these adventures and whatnot, but okay. As for going forward, the crappy HBO Watchmen thing, that's just absolute garbage. Say what one will about the Snyder movie, it's leaps and bounds superior to that garbage. That was just absolute trash. And So, once you see the worst of the worst, you kind of, and probably not going to feel so bad about the prequel comics that they did. but beyond that, you're supposed to like learn from you know great works of art and stuff to be an influence and whatnot. I would have thought someone would have, if they, they want to use brand names because it's cheap and easy. So Watchmen, you have it on there, you can pursue that. But the nature of it, the structure would be very difficult to maintain for very long. But they managed to do it for 12 issues. Would be to approach the Carlton characters in that manner, and the question is more like Rorschach and all that sort of thing. And they could have done it. Now, Grant Morrison did a single one shot issue when he was doing his Multiversity series. And I think it's great, but it's the Carlton characters as, living like the Watchmen. And it was really cool. But could you maintain that for a series at that level? Probably not. But anywho, other than that, and that's the thing about Watchmen and Dark Knight Returns, that it spawned basically really violent comics and stuff after that, which kind of missed the point of quite a few of them to be on the more serious level. And then again, there's the argument, well, it's an interesting experiment, but should they be taken so seriously? And there's arguments for probably shouldn't, Ultimately, when it comes down to it, the best combination is the 90s Batman cartoon series. Pretty much broke the mold with it. You're never going to get as good as that as far as the superhero story goes. Mumble Slam. I'm surprised they never tried to make a Savage Dragon movie. Well, that would have been cool, I was a big collector of Savage Dragon for a very long time until it got disturbingly weird and I had to quit that. But, it had a good run for a while, but I don't know. It just never caught on like Spawn did. When Image started out, I immediately thought that, Spawn and Savage Dragon would be the big breakout hits. But basically it was Spawn and that was about it. They were all, it was all a big deal at the time. Those guys became millionaires over that. But you can't argue that Spawn became the bigger success. As far as branching out into other media, it had a cartoon series and the movie, and then everything kind of faded, But anyway, there was that Savage Dragon cartoon for a minute. Obviously, not to the extent that the comic book was with the naked ladies and everything, but in spirit, it was kind of close to the story. But anyway, Mumble Slam. I don't know, A. Thompson. Doug, at what age did you start liking comic books? I guess early teens. I mean, there was a few. I'd see a few when I was really young, but I guess, when did I have that? Now I'm beginning to think I might have had that big Treasury edition thing. They had these tabloid-sized comic books. I had one about the Fortress of Solitude and one with Batman versus the Hulk. That might have been before. No, I think I had the Spider-Man one first. Anyway, and then really somewhere in the 80s, it was Secret Wars that got me addicted. That's when they introduced Spider-Man in the black outfit, and I was like, oh, what's this about? And I found out about Secret Wars and was completely sucked into that. And then the Spider-Man and the Hobgoblin mystery really captured my fancy. And that was that. I was in. And then I checked out, of course, DC titles with Crisis on Infinite Earths, that whole thing that was going on at the time, And then, of course, that's when Dark Knight and Watchmen happened. So, that's pretty much how it happened. Eventually, though, there was like a almost 7-year dead spell where I just dropped out of it. I was reading heavy metal and Daniel Klaus 8-Ball comics, and that was about it. Then got back into it for a while, that in collecting a lot of Savage Dragon, in the later years. Uh, and then just off and on, never really stopped. Anyway, Mumbles Slam, he can draw a crowd. Hey, Thompson, I'm so far out of the loop, I never knew there was a Watchmen comic until after I saw the movie. Well, see, sometimes that's how that works. Yeah, I'm not sure we always need prequels to fill in the blanks of stories for which we can easily use our imagination. It's because they want to make money off of a successful brand. And sometimes it works. Not to the extent of the original, but, they milk it till it's dry. Have you read Grunwald's Squadron Supreme? Yes. And really, Squadron Supreme is almost like a precursor to Watchmen in a lot of ways. Yeah, that was cool. Squadron Supreme is basically Marvel's take on the Justice League. And it's interesting because a lot of ideas that came out of that, DC just sort of stole, most notably like the Flash needing to eat a lot because he burns up so much energy while he's going through super speed and all that. And then, of course, the Superman-Batman friendship breaking up, and turning on each other. They did that with Hyperion and Nighthawk, and it's pretty much same thing, It covered similar territory, but stuck more to modern comics. So, but yeah, it read like an ordinary comic book, but the serious nature of it, and them taking over the world and everything. Yeah, and then the right and wrong of it played out. It was really good. Hey, Thompson, we didn't really have a comic book store in my town growing up. Yeah, didn't have one for a bit. That started kind of, I guess, late 80s. There was this bookstore that had this huge selection of old comic books. And when I found that one time, and I was like, oh my God, Then there was this a gag shop is what it was. It had all these, like, it had like Halloween costumes, all kinds of, whoopee cushions, stuff like that. And then in the back room, surprise, porn. But then in the other back room, comic books. So, hey, how'd that happen? So anyway, but it took a while before, there was this guy, he was running it out of like a flea market. Then he got his own place, and then his store has passed through different hands over the years, but it's still there. Those first 3 miniseries comics of Savage Dragon are top tier. Yeah, it was started off really great. Ravenscroft 82. Oh, while I'm here, I always wonder why I can never tag you on PCB, but I can usually tag all the other folks. You mean in the chat? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'll look into it. I mean, on X, it's at Mr Nailsin. So, I mean, if you're tagging people on there, you can do it that way. It'll come up. I'll probably see it. Okay. Oh yeah. Let me go ahead and see. Test this little thing. All right. It probably went nowhere audio wise, but it can be seen. So there's that. It's like the text ones can be read. Oh, what was this one? All right. So it can be seen, but not heard. That's, but I mean, I can hear it, but Unfortunately, you can't. Ravencroft, yes. If I type at, it will go to Gary or Andy or whoever. But if I type at you, let me see. Maybe it's just at Mr. Nailsin. I mean, jeez. Yeah, I think that's the deal at Mr. Nailsin rather than Douglas Nelson. Probably try that. Next time on PCB. So we'll see how that goes. The problem is, I don't really see the chat there either. I mean, sometimes I can check it. And the advantages of PCB is I get to take breaks because I got to get up because my legs start to hurt really bad. When I'm doing Pat's show, I'll get there laughing, and the next thing I know, I have to get up, and the pain, I just forget. I've tried Doug and Mr. No, all one word, Mr. Nailsin. So you got it there. Just take the period out, the dot, and just put it all together, probably with the capital N on Nailsin, and just do it like that and see if that'll work on YouTube. So hopefully that'll work out. I know hope's not a strategy, but it's the one I got for the moment. Okay. Geez, this went longer than I anticipated but it's not your fault. It's not even mine. It's EV Mux's fault. EV Mux. What did I ever do to you? What did I ever do? I didn't do anything. I used your services to do a show for the people. Oh, well. I got to take care of stuff and then go to bed, go back to work tonight. And hopefully I can do a morning stream tomorrow. That might be fun. Maybe I can do that. Here's hoping. Anywho, I guess I'll test out EV Mux then too, but I'll have to test the audio first and foremost. And I'll see how that works. I've been doing them back and forth, So, okay, let me check. YouTube at Mr. Nailsin. Live chat. Yeah, it doesn't light up, does it? Damn it. What the hell? I wonder why it doesn't do that. Weird. Yeah, I don't know. I guess YouTube just doesn't really care for me that much. Anyway, good night, Doug. Take care. Well, thank you, Ravenscroft82. And we'll see you on PCB, if not before. So, yeah, have a good rest of your day, everybody. And like I said, we'll do this again soon. Oh, yeah, I think because I did some drawings of Opie, and I've got an idea of how to utilize them for a Doodleverse comic strip, and that might be fun. So might do that tomorrow morning, Monday. So anyway, there we go. Have a good rest of your day, everybody. I'm soon going off into Sleepy Land.